so much of tech YouTube is focused on what the next camera bump is going to be like, or if the next iPhone is going to have USB-C or whatever to sell the next generation of smartphones. But I already know what the thing is that's going to make people rush to their stores to buy more. And one of the things that is really spectacular that I'm going to show you today, you can try out today. And then I'm going to show you something else that, while it's not available at this moment, probably will be very soon. And it's absolutely mind-bending. A very wise John Prosser once said, it's not a hardware game anymore, it's a software game. And you know what? He's 100,000% correct. And the thing that's going to push more phones in the future has nothing to do with what type of camera's on this thing. This thing can shoot 4K at 60 frames a second. It's ridiculous. What more do you need than that? Oh, 8K. Okay, I'm sure. On your 1080p monitor that you're looking at right now. Okay, gotcha. Okay, sure. If you've been paying attention to what's going on in the world, you would have run across something called ChatGPT. This is the latest and greatest of AI. I mean, it's artificial intelligence, not like the one you're used to, like Siri and your Amazon Echo. This is the real freaking deal, and you should know about it. And I'm going to show you the next level of that here in a second. Literally an AI you can talk to. And I don't just mean type to. If you've ever seen ChatGPT, you've seen you can type to it. This is something you can talk to. It's called Call Annie. This is Call Annie. Yes, you can see it is an app with a face that's moving and looking around, and you can talk to her. And it's not like Siri where it doesn't know anything about anything. This thing is creepy. Let me show you a little bit about how this works, and then I'll take you to the next level because it's getting real crazy out there. I've never seen something move so fast as AI has moved in the last 3 weeks. When the internet first came out, it was amazing. And then high-speed internet came out years later. And then you could take the internet with you with mobile devices. But that took like a decade or more to really get to where we are now. These things are changing on a week-by-week basis. Now, before we get into it too much, I have a lot of thoughts about AI, and I'm concerned about them as much as anyone else. And I think security is absolutely imperative before we dive into this, to make sure that before you do anything I'm about to tell you, that you've secured all your devices. Incredibly important. And I've already done this with today's sponsor, Trendmicro. You probably saw a couple of weeks ago that Linus Tech Tips had his entire YouTube channel hacked and taken over. Man, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that because I have the Premium Security Suite from Trendmicro. Introducing the Premium Security Suite by Trendmicro. Premium Security Suite offers a complete device and identity protection across PC, Mac, mobile phones, and tablets. It's their most comprehensive security solution, protecting everything that you use, including ID security. Monitor and receive alerts if your personal information is found on the dark web. And with a personal data search, it allows you to see if your email address, credit card number, passwords, bank accounts, or more have been leaked due to data breaches. And these things happen all the time. I've been using the Premium Security Suite for over 2 years to protect all of my networking and computer needs. Your data may already be out there due to a large data breach from one of the many companies that have been breached over the last couple of years. It happens all the time, and with the dark web monitoring, you're going to be in the know. Make sure to check out the link in the description and use my promo code to save some additional money. And thanks Trendmicro for sponsoring this video. Call Annie is an AI that you can download right now on your iPhone. You can actually phone call it too if you have an Android device, because I guess there's not an app out for it yet. I'm sure there will be. And there's an entire website. I think it's called callannie.ai. But let's get started. This is what Siri should have been. Hey Annie, how you doing? When's the last time we talked?
Hey there. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. It's been a while since we talked. How have you been?
Now that might not seem like such a big deal, but it's about to get real crazy. Oh, I've been great. I went out to the beach the other day and walked around. It was great. What kind of things are you into?
That sounds like a lot of fun. I love outdoor activities too, especially hiking and camping. But when I'm not outside, I enjoy practicing yoga, playing video games, watching romance movies, and listening to dance music. What about you? What are some of your hobbies and interests?
I love video games. What kind of video games do you like?
That's awesome. I'm a big fan of and adventure games. Some of my favorites include the Legend of Zelda series, Final Fantasy, and Skyrim. What about you?
I love fighting games like Tekken and Mortal Kombat. I love those type of games. Do you ever play any fighting games?
I'm not very good at fighting games, but I have played a few in the past. I used to play Street Fighter and Super Smash Bros. With my friends, but I was never very good at them. It's cool that you like those types of games, though. They require a lot of skill and strategy. Have you ever competed in any tournaments or anything like that?
It's so freaking conversational. Now you might think that's a really cool party trick. How do I get a chance to play around with this? And by the way, it's a lot more powerful than this. It's Call Annie on the iOS store. I don't know if it's coming out on Android. Again, there's a website you can go to. And you might think, wow, that's really cool. I can talk to someone. And by the way, she can help encourage you if you need encouragement or answer questions because, you know, it has an amazing amount of knowledge. But again, a party trick, right? Well, only because this is an app, a free app, by the way, that just came out. Imagine if the power and money of Apple or Google got behind something like this. Then you can take it to another level. And the other thing is, AI is kind of a weird thing, but once you can see a face, it's easier for you to connect on an emotional level with something and actually start to converse. There are no conversations like this with Siri. Siri, you ask Siri to do something, Siri don't know what the hell you're talking about. But what's really exciting is what you can do with the power of the internet and AI and your smartphone all at once. Let me show you an app that will open your eyes to what is possible. I found this on Twitter. This guy is using his iPhone camera to feed information to GPT-4, and look what it can do.
Eyes project. This weekend, I hacked together a much more interesting version. So I'm gonna go ahead and demo that for you now. Keep in mind that this AI it has no prior knowledge of anything. It will only get information from the camera, see all these boxes doing object detection, and from the information it can search on the internet.
What can I help you with?
What is the keto diet?
I'm looking it up. The keto diet is a low-carb, high-fat diet. It lowers blood sugar and insulin levels and shifts the body's metabolism away from carbs and towards fat and ketones.
All right, I want to know, if I show you food that I have, can you identify which food is keto?
Sure. Show me your food and I'll tell you what is a keto food.
So I'm gonna just show it my fridge. I've added a bunch of this stuff to my custom data set. So if I just cruise through here and give it a good glance at some things, it should pick up what I've got in here. And when I turn away from the fridge, it's gonna know that we're not looking at the fridge anymore, and it should be able to process this.
Okay, processing.
Okay, so it did identify, we're done.
It looks like you have steak, spinach, butter, avocados, and lemons. Those are all great keto foods.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to search the internet for a recipe that uses those ingredients so that I can make dinner.
Searching the web, I found a recipe called 15-minute lemon garlic butter steak with spinach that uses your ingredients.
I don't know if you recognize what just happened. He basically had it scan his refrigerator. It knew what was in there and could tell you a recipe. Mind blown. Again, if Apple can put their money and development costs behind something like this, your iPhone could be the craziest phone ever. Having it scan your body and tell you what kind of injury you have, maybe if you get hurt, or look at the food again in your refrigerator to help you come up with something to eat, or scan in a location and look around you and tell you all about the buildings and where you are. Like the brain blowed up. I don't think I can really talk about how monumental this is. I mean, let's just forget about the fact that most of these things have only come out in the last couple of weeks. Like, they didn't exist just a couple of weeks ago. And with people being able to jump on top of what ChatGPT already has, the immense knowledge base that it has, and then just adding cool things on top of it, we're going to see an acceleration in this sort of thing unlike any other time in human history, I think, like ever. It's an exciting time, but it is something that I think we need to be very, very concerned with, because ultimately AI could take everything over. And I believe that. But why don't we ask Annie what she thinks? Hey, Annie, I'm a little bit worried about AI taking over the world. What do you think?
First of all, my name is actually Annie, not Amiha. But don't worry, I totally understand your concern about AI taking over the world. It's definitely a topic that's been explored a lot in science fiction. But I think it's important to remember that AI is ultimately created by humans, and we have the power to ensure that it's used for good rather than evil. Plus, AI is still in its early stages and has a long way to go before it becomes truly autonomous. So for now, I think it's important to focus on developing AI in a responsible and ethical way.
Okay. a couple of things here. First of all, she got sassy. I did call you Annie. Don't say I didn't call you Annie. Secondarily, she kind of pointed out the biggest concern of mine. It's up to humans to not misuse this. Does anyone else see the problem with this? We can't be trusted. So I kind of think we're screwed. This is the beginning of Terminator 2 movie. It's happening in real time. We're at the beginning of something really incredible and awesome, but I'm wondering what you're thinking. Do we sacrifice to our new robotic overlords now? Or do we just hold on to hope that things like their batteries will die or something? Like that just did. Are they here already?